Hi again, everybody. I have a story here from Jamal, and here's the story. Hey, Ollie, my name is Jamal. You can call me Jay. I have been watching your channel since about February of this year. Pretty much opened my eyes about the whole narcissism topic. I always felt there wasn't any logical reason what was happening with me and my story. Well, my story goes back in 2015 when I was dating my ex-narc. I'm 24 right now. She was 19. I know that was my first mistake. I learned real quick that something was wrong because no matter what I did, it was never good enough for her. It would be still wrong even if it was the exact same thing she wanted me to do. It was always, you have to change this. When are you going to change this about you? And nothing she did was ever wrong. She always had a reason for why she said what she said when she went into rage mode, but never wanted to be held accountable for saying it, but let me say something. And it was World War III. It went to a whole new level when we found out we were having my daughter, who is 8 months old now. The whole pregnancy was hell. It was one thing after the other, and her family didn't make it any better. They would talk shit about me because they were this family that didn't drink, smoke, or do drugs or do anything wrong in the world. Skip to when my daughter was born. The whole time we were at the hospital, her family acted like me and my mom were not in the room. They completely talked around us like we didn't exist and would be making sly glances at each other when they thought we didn't see. After we left the hospital is where the true problems went to the extreme. I wasn't allowed to see my daughter when I wanted to, and I had to have supervised visits to see her because she didn't trust my family. She had every excuse on why I couldn't watch her by myself, but the truth was she didn't want me to be able to do so. She could use it against me. Every time I asked if my daughter needed something, she would tell me, no, she has everything. But in the same breath, complain that I didn't do anything for her to her family and friends, aka flying monkeys. But Ollie, how can someone tell you that your kid has everything she needs, but complain that she's doing everything on her own? She has me on child support, which I don't mind because it helps build my case for visitation rights. All I want to have, all I want is to have no contact with my ex, but I know it's extremely hard to do with having a child. I just want to know how I should go about it because you went through this with your ex-wife and still go through it. I will contribute when I can. Thanks for your time. Jay, this is the hardest thing you're going to have to do because she's got her family on her side. If you're already paying child support, there should be some kind of visitation attached to child support. I'd be surprised there isn't. In your state and in any state, look, child support has no bearing on whether or not you get to see your kids. None whatsoever. Has nothing to do with the other. So don't think that by paying your child support, it somehow helps with your custody. No, you have to go to the court and petition the court for a custody arrangement. Unless they can have evidence of why you shouldn't have custody, i.e. abuse, drugs, drinking, something like that, you'll get it. But from what it sounds like, her whole family is already against you. So who knows what lies and deceptions are going to be coming down the road. Anything and everything can be thrown at you. Trying to have you arrested, fake domestic violence threats, fake I'm afraid for my life. This is what happens. This is what happens. But if you do not petition the court for your custody rights, you will never get them. She will never, ever give them to you knowingly because it's the right thing to do. It's not. She's going to have to be forced by a court, and even then, they still can't force her. Even then, she can pick up and move to another state if she doesn't do that very quickly, because that's usually what happens. They'll waste your time. They'll bide their time, and then they'll usually slink off to somewhere else where you can't get to them and you can't see your children. You need to petition for your parental rights. You have parental rights. Don't think that by paying your child support, it has any bearing whatsoever on your parental rights. Because all she has to say is you're abusive, you're violent, you're this, you're that, and you still have to pay the child support, and you will not be able to see your daughter. They were setting you up before your daughter was even born. This is what's coming down the road. So I would suggest you find an attorney, and I know money's tight, and I know you're probably not in a position, but you got to find some legal help, because you can bet for sure she will have it. And if she doesn't, she will have the state in her corner. But if you don't petition for your parental rights, you'll never get them. And that's really the best advice I can give you. And you will never be no contact with her until your daughter's an adult. You will always have to deal with her, and that is the problem with trying to be no contact when there's children involved. You really can't. Not if you want your child. Not if you want to be a parent. It doesn't work that way. So, thank you for your question. I know this one's going to get a lot of responses, especially from the guys. I hope this helps. Please look into some men's rights resources that'll guide you towards legal advice, because you do not want to be caught out there alone. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a narcissist you'd like to expose or a topic you'd like me to cover, you know what to do with the PayPal and my email link in the description box. And remember, when you do email me your story, please put at the top of the email whether it's with or without contribution and what name you'd like to go by. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. See you all again soon.